rules for public and charitable initiatives. Please welcome Anastasia Krasnosilska, tax law expert. Good morning, dear colleagues. The topic for today is about taxes for public and charitable initiatives, or better said, new taxation rules for public and charitable foundation and for businesses that support Ukrainian military men. On 17th of April this year, the Verkhovna Rada approved a draft legislation to change the taxation code in the interests of public and charitable initiatives. It is about the law 2049, and I was one of the authors of this piece of legislation, which was conceived with an idea to eliminate errors committed by MPs during the adopting of the previous tax code in December last year. That, I may remind you, resulted in elimination of a lot of initiatives related to public and charitable initiatives, and instead new measures of responsibility for such initiatives were introduced that potentially affect more than 120,000 individual charitable and public organizations. And in these conditions, charitable organizations had to continue their operation, fearing fees and other fines and other penalties. Ukrainian business persons doing charity donations to support Ukrainian military servicemen are really entitled to tax benefits. It was promised already 6 months ago, but since then not a single real tax benefit was introduced. Instead, they've just got additional headache by being forced to think how to record the beneficiary activities, charitable activities in their books. The new legislation introduced really reduced taxation level for charitable initiatives. Secondly, Ukraine will finally find better tax conditions for social entrepreneurship. That is, measures to earn money to resolve social matters of importance for local communities. When people may, say, establish an organization to cater for the needs of IDPs, all the profit earned by this organization will not go to its founders, but will rather be used to pay salaries and to assist IDPs in settling in new conditions. And this is of importance because social entrepreneurship will release the state from many dependents by making these people able to work and earn their living independently. Until recently, charitable organizations and social enterprises were taxed at par with commercial companies. From this moment on, they will have different taxation treatment, and this will really help finding better job opportunities for IDPs, and it will enjoy reduced taxation rates. I already presume that you have a question whether there will be attempts from commercial companies to disguise themselves under social initiatives to enjoy reduced taxation rates. I can tell you that the tax code has established just rules for taxation for social and charitable activities. If before, inland revenue officers had unilateral authority to decide who's entitled to tax benefits, who is not, and that's provided a huge leeway for them to offer tax benefits to some commercial businesses overlooking charity organizations. Now, the amended tax code has very clear stipulations as to who is eligible for tax benefits, and an organization that is willing to get preferential treatment in terms of corporate tax needs to include in its articles of incorporation clear statements of their charitable activities, and it should stick to their articles of incorporation to be eligible. Those organizations trying to find their ways into beneficial tax treatment will be closely monitored by tax authorities, and they risk serious fines if found in breach. All public and civic society organizations dealing with charitable activities need to revisit the articles of incorporation to see whether they are in compliance with the updated requirements. If it is okay, then they have nothing to worry about. If the articles of incorporation, on the other hand, are not in compliance, then it shall be necessary for these organizations to bring these founding documents in line with the requirements of the tax code of Ukraine. And our organization, the Ukrainian Center for Political Research, offers free of charge advice and consultations to civic society organizations dealing with charity assistance. We can advise you whether you are in compliance with updated tax requirements. We are ready to advise you if you come across some pressure or biased attitude from fiscal authorities. We are ready to help you. Here's the phone line for you, 257-5420. Please call us in to get these free consultations and advice. They're free of charge indeed. These are my key thesis points, and I'm glad to take your questions. Thank you. A question from the UCMC. Will there be any changes to other not-for-profit organizations? Effectively, when we speak of civic and charitable initiative, we mean exactly not-for-profit organizations and initiatives, and they really need to look into the articles of incorporation to see whether they have any provisions related to distribution of shares and profits between founders, and whether the statutory activities are in line with suggested changes. Please revisit your founding documents to update them in line with the tax code. Thank you. Any questions?
Volunteers raise money. And do they risk when that happens? So easy, without any initiative. If they don't have no legal status, what kind of risks they have? First of all, the draft law 2049 has not changed the tax regulation for people who are volunteers for ATO. The same rule is for them. Anyone who raises money for ATO for their bank account have to pay taxes for income, or to register as a volunteer of ATO. That's a very simple procedure, just like an information. You have to inform a tax inspection that you, John Smith, collect money for your business card, and then they will include you into volunteers of ATO, and that person is exempt of taxes for all the money used to assist Ukrainian armed forces. Is there a difference between raising money for ATO and for voluntary battalions? The law says That money which is collected and which provided assistance to military formations created according to the law. And as far as I remember, all volunteer battalions have are registered as units of armed forces and or part of Ministry of Interior. Even if the battalion continues to be called voluntary, although the majority of them are registered according to the law of Ukraine, and assistance to them was also exempt of taxes. In my opinion, not all battalions, as far as I know, all. One of them that had a meeting yesterday. Look at the name of the battalion you provide assistance to, and then get information about the legal status. As far as I know, all volunteer battalions are registered according to the legislation of Ukraine. They could have different names. They could have called units of interior as units of armed forces, different variants, but the majority of them, they have the legal status, and assistance to such battalions is exempt of taxes. Is there transitional period? Because it takes time to do changes to the statute. Yes, there is a transitional period, a year and a half, until January 1st, 2017. And here I would like to draw attention that for May League, this work is not over. The Cabinet of Ministers has to approve its decision or regulation how to introduce changes, how to get and how to give and to take the status of charitable fund, and I invite all to participate in the development of that regulation of the Cabinet of Ministers and to see that all these good principles are there and that we receive from the tax code. So we have a year and a half. We'll ask the Ministry of Finances to introduce such an approach. Fiscal service will analyze statutes of organization that are not profitable, and they look if those statutes meet or not meet the new tax code, and informs organizations accordingly whether if you need to do changes, do it. This is our approach. This is what we will suggest to the Ministry of Finances and to the Cabinet of Ministers, and for more organizations, the more organizations join us, the better procedure we will have. More questions? If not, thank you very much, Anastasia. Repeat the hotline number for charity organizations: 227-5420. Thank you very much. This is Kiev. On our code of Kiev is 044. Thank you. Thank you very much for your explanation. Our next briefing will be at 12.